All right, shalom, y'all. This video is a discussion me and Brainwavezz had. I'll tell you the way it came about. Um, I made a video, um, kind of. I think it was a reply to a video he had did um, on a video I had did basically. And anyway, he was talking about that. He was live. He was saying if that nobody had reached out to him, and he also said that nobody he couldn't get in contact with anybody at Straitway or whatever. So I went in the comments, said I'd come on the show. I came on the show, and it went very well. Um, I have a lot of respect for Brainwavezz. The brother has a willing spirit to from what I saw being on his show and everything to really, go in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? And it was definitely a good build just being on there with him. Um, what you're going to see in the beginning of the video, he had some technical difficulties. And what I'll also tell you is the original video was 5 hours long because the purpose of me coming on the show was to do what you're going to see in this video right here, okay? And that was to build with Brainwavezz to clear up some misconceptions that I saw people had with Straitway, and just to kind of build with him. And seems like a good brother thus far, just talking to him and watching how he moves. And hopefully myself and Brainwavezz can have more discussions like this, because it definitely helps in the season that we're in with all the all the confusion out there.
And then also I ran into a couple of signal issues being on my phone. So I should be back on camera in a second. I know a lot of people are saying a lot of things in the chat, and I mean, we can address them. We can get right to them.
So yeah,
If you give me 1 second, I'll be back on
okay.
camera.
But anyway, while he's getting ready, some things I wanted to say is, number one, I knew Pat, when Pastor Rufus came on, I knew he was going to be asking some questions. I didn't think it was going to go 2 hours of stuff. But what I will tell y'all is, again, you heard us talk about a meeting that we had up at the hub. And I think that meeting lasted about 5, maybe 6 hours. And Pastor Rufus, past Elder Crago, and the other leadership that was involved in this council, they're way more knowledgeable than I am about the whole entire situation. But I listened to everything that came out from them, and then I've been listening to Pastor Rufus, and as I said, and I still stand on it, I understand the situation, and I side with the side of Straitway. And I mean, if people want to say I'm brainwashed, this, that, and the other, hey, I'm sorry for you. But like I said, I've always been a person where I don't fear men. I fear Yah. Just like most people wouldn't come on this channel, in a channel where a lot of people aren't, where people aren't really going to be seeing things their way, whatever. But I don't have any fear. I'm gonna just keep it 100 and do what I do. I mean, I'm not going to let any man intimidate me into doing things that are not right. If it's off, we're going to deal with it, On the same note, I'm going to tell you what happens a lot. I got to plug in my headset real quick. I'm going to tell you something that happens a lot in Israel, okay, that I've seen being a head of assembly with the experience and the things I've dealt with. Like you heard me say, hold on one sec. Plug this thing in. Like you heard me say, you got a lot of people, even here in our assembly, you got people come to assembly and they're not willing to give all. They got stuff in them that's deeply rooted that they're not going to change. You know, and a lot of times these people, that what they do is the equivalent of coming in your house, taking a dump on your carpet, and then scrutinizing how you clean it up. Oh, you put that there, you left that there, but bro, you took a giant dump on my carpet. You know what I'm saying? And this happens a lot. Now I'm gonna tell you another big thing. You know, with a lot of these situations, man, you see people, like, I get people ain't perfect. We're striving for perfection. It's things that happen, and sometimes they ain't right. You call them out, you do what the word says, and you keep it pushing. You don't let it, you know, blow up into a giant disaster. You know what I'm saying? And in the heat of the moment, it can be one of the hardest things to do in the world. Brainwaves, I don't want to talk over you, so I'm handing back over to you. I see you back on there.
Oh yes. No, it was fine. I want you to continue to speak on you. You were making a point. If you may.
Okay, so and then real fast, just going. Look, let me tell y'all something else. Keeping it 100. Okay, Straitway ain't perfect. People ain't perfect. You know, we have issues here. That what the difference between Straitway and out there is we do handle it. We do deal with it. The situation with Pastor Rufus, like I said, you heard a lot of that, and you heard, if you got to quote me on saying something, I would say go listen, get the other side of the story. You know what I'm saying? Get both sides. You see, Pastor Rufus is very, like he understands. Yeah, let me put my headphone in. Okay, you see, Pastor Rufus is very knowledgeable about this whole situation. He's very current on it. I'm not, but like I said, you can get the whole story, and things will be painted a different way. Just like the New Breed situation, because Brainwaves, I wanted to say this. After really listening to what Ringo's saying, I can understand both sides, you know, and both sides' stance on the situation that happened between them. But it goes back to what I'm saying. We deal with situations like that and worse all the time here with the Saints. But the difference is, once all the emotions calm down and everything, we get to the book and we do what the word says. And that's what's enabled us to stay together and to work together as saints and be a team and everything like that. Something else I wanted to talk about, Brainwaves, is the accusation that Pastor Dowell stole someone's wife, and that Pastor Dowell is an adulterer. And people are bearing false witness on that, because the facts of the matter are, Eric Gonzalez came on that show that Floridian Rollo, New Breed, and all those other people were on. He came on that show, and he said that he gave Nelly a bill of divorce. Okay? Now, that's what he said. Now, what people are saying is, oh, Pastor Dowell went and manipulated her and coerced her into doing it and all that. Again, I'm saying be obedient to the word. What is the word? And you need two witnesses. Where are the eyewitnesses that can establish that? You see what I'm saying? But people just run with it because that's what it looks like to them. Now, what I did, I went to him in person and asked what happened. And he told me what happened. And then I listened to Eric Gonzalez's stance of what happened. And I listened to him. And literally, I didn't hear any contradictions. They didn't get married or nothing happened till a year after she was divorced. But the way a lot of people come on here and talk is they come on here and they say, oh, Pastor Dowell gave was married to her before she got divorced and all this stuff. You see what I'm saying? And I, for the sake of being in line with the word, hey, it might look some type of way, but if you go to that man and that man tells you that, and that's what it is, and there ain't no witnesses, hey, that's between him and Yah. But what a lot of people are doing, they're damning their own souls because they're bearing false witness on stuff that they haven't went and got the other side of the story on. And this is book. So I wanted to hit on that. Did you have anything on that, Brainwave?
I mean, that's a big point, and actually, I kind of want to hit on several things.
Okay.
What I want to actually hit on is, and I talked about this earlier before I had to step out, and I'm back. I know a lot has been said on both sides, and I hadn't been around to be able to mediate. There were some times I actually was going to try to say something, and I lost signal since I was driving and everything. But what I do want to say is, as crazy as this may sound to people watching, I actually like what's going on. And let me explain why I say that.
Me too.
I believe that we've gotten to a place that we hadn't been, or at least we haven't been for a moment. And we're actually at a place where in some form or fashion, maybe some of you will take it this way, maybe others will not take it this way, but we've actually been able to sit down and talk about what's been going on, where we are.
Brainwaves, could I hit something real quick concerning
Absolutely.
what I just said? Because I saw somebody put in there. Listen, y'all, I'm trying to tell y'all because I see somebody put in here about Nelly gave him a bill of divorce. Listen what I'm saying. If you go on a show where it was Floridian Rollo and Eric and Pastor Rufus was on there, and those other people were on there. If you go on that show, Eric said out of his own mouth, Nelly said she wanted a divorce, and Eric said, I gave it to her. Okay? So he gave her he divorced her. Okay? So I'm trying to understand what people are not understanding. And I'm just saying, people got to be careful when you take this and run with it, because you're damning your own soul. So, you know, where it says one of the 10 commandments is thou shalt not commit adultery, but one of the other ones is that don't bear false witness. That's the 10 commandments. So I'm sorry, Brainwaves. I just wanted to hit that while it was up there. That's all.
Oh no, it's all good. Like I said, you all are here, so when I do my shows, whoever is on, they essentially have the floor. I try to do less speaking, but back to what I was saying is that I know there's a lot of opinions, there's a lot of perspectives, there's a lot of he say, she say. We're at a place, in spite of all of that, where we at least have a dialogue. And this is something that I really like, because we as brothers, we as sisters have to at least be in a position where we can have some type of dialogue, to where we can work something out to some extent, even if we agree to disagree at the very least. You know, it just depends on what we're talking about here. But we should be in a place where we can at least speak to one another. And this is something that has not been seen out here. One, in social media. Two, we can say in the Israelite community. And three, we can just say in the community, period. You pick a community. This is what's been going on. So what I like about what's happening here is we're at least at a place where we can sit down like men, hopefully men, I know maybe some of you might beg to differ based upon the conversations earlier, but at the very least, we're able to talk. And this is something that hasn't happened in, I don't know how long. I lost track. I'm trying not to actually think about the exact time. So this is a good thing because this is something we don't see. And, you know, Brother Michael Israel, he held me accountable to this. You know, when the whole Ringo and New Breed situation, you know, he called me and, you know, I mentioned that I did have a form of mediation into the matter, but he did hold me accountable. He said, well, hey, if you feel this way about the situation, if this is what it is, then at the very least mediate. And one thing that I know that the Most High uses me to do is be a mediator. Now, again, my apologies for not being active earlier. I had things to do and I did not want to end the stream. I wanted to keep things going. So here we are. Again, my apologies for that. Any, you know, wrongdoings that people may see, hey, I take ownership of that. Have no problem admitting that. But I'm glad that we're at this point because this is something that I also have to be accountable of. You know, I can't say, well, straightway this and straightway that, and then I'm not having any type of dialogue. I have no recourse to sit down and actually talk and allow straightway, everybody with every situation that's involved with straightway, to be able to speak on the matter. So I know some people are saying I'm flip-flopping. I saw some comments earlier. Oh, you know, like, what are you doing? This is what mediation looks like. You have to be able to sit down. And I've been on councils with a lot of things when it comes to ministry. Now, I'm coming out of the Christian church, the Catholic church, non-denomination, you know, been there, done that. I used to work at a mega church. I've been in the pulpit, like street ministry. I've done a lot of things. And so one thing that I know is we absolutely have to preserve and protect this environment. So to some people's perception that they may say I'm wrong at that, some of y'all saying, wait, I thought you was just talking to Pastor Rufus. I thought you was cool with Pastor Rufus. I am cool with Pastor Rufus. And then here you are, you talking to Brother Mike and asking like you sided with Straitway. If that's what y'all want to believe, y'all take it as you are. What I'm trying to do is allow everyone to fairly speak. And at some point, we come to peace. You know, in all things, we're supposed to at least find peace in everything if we're following the Most High. So this is what I'm allowing. No one else is doing it.
And Brainwavezz, like, again, man, let me tell y'all something that really, one of the things that really got me turned up and kind of made me passionate about this thing. It happened when the Philando Castile shooting happened, when that cop came and shot that dude and killed him in front of his wife and daughter. And then when the woman was sitting in the back of the police car and that daughter said, "It'll be all right, mommy," boy, I mean, that lit a fire in me of what is this? You know, because surely oppression makes a wise man mad. And I was almost going extreme with the Hebrew Israelite thing, but then the Most High showed me that the reason we in this condition is because of us. Because of our disobedience, because we don't, in a nutshell, like, we don't know how to love our brother like we love ourselves, and we don't know how to love the Most High with all of our heart, mind, and soul. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I mean, that's what ignited the fire. Where look, look, if somebody got an issue with me, we can talk it out. You know, whether it's people around me or online or whatever. And yeah, so and it's like you saying, Brainwave, these are the difficult conversations that need to be had, you know, between people, you know. So you made a good point there, bro.
Absolutely. I'm trying to do the best I can to lead by an example. As a form of a leader in the community, I try to do the best that I can to do what the book says. So when I know I'm in error.
And Brainwavezz, on something, on a statement you just said about being a leader, I just wanted to add in that, you know, I don't know if people realize it, but like recently over the past year or two, like YouTube has really grown to the point it just overtook Netflix as it has more viewership than Netflix. And it used to just be, hey, you're a YouTuber. Literally, you, to a degree, you got to almost, like, when you're at, like, you got a pretty good sized channel. When you get to these sizes, you literally got to conduct yourself like a celebrity, or, like you said, like a leader. You got to really take account to the moves you're making, because now it sways a lot of people and everything like that. So, yeah, but that's a good point you made on that.
And I want the people, I know you all have seen this since the moment we got, this is the first time that Brother Mike and I have actually spoken, shy of, you know, the videos or what have you. We actually are speaking. And what I'm seeing is, and I know there can be some disagreements with the Pastor Rufus situation. What I'm seeing is Brother Mike's dealing with me. It's fair. It's just. He hasn't called me any names. He hasn't raged out on me, said anything, done anything. And like, we're sitting here face to face, man to man, and I'm being treated the way that a man, especially a man of Yah, should be treated. And I believe that I'm treating him the same way. So when you have that, you have to honor that, because that's how the Most High would have us. We can't love the Most High if we can't love our brother. And Brother Mike, he is a man of the Most High, regardless of any flaws. I'm a man of the Most High, regardless of any flaws. Let's take the sin out of the picture, because I think that that's what's getting us in trouble. Well, he did this and she did that, and this person's like this and like that. At the end of the day, and remember, David had a lot of, so we can start going into through examples of the Bible of a lot of men that were quote unquote in sin and did a lot of iniquity, yet the Most High had favor in them, yet their heart was in alignment with the Most High. In spite of
Brainwavezz, I wanted to answer a question somebody put here. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
All right. Somebody asked, Michael Israel, with you not even knowing Dowell at the time these accusations happened, do you believe it's right for you to speak on this situation while you say bearing false witness? Yeah, brother, what when I came into Straitway, I, like anybody else, or like you heard me say earlier, I questioned everything. So when I came in, all this had happened, and I got online. I was looking online. I was watching all the videos that Eric Gonzalez put out, and listening to everything, and researching everything, and questioning everything, questioning Pastor Dowell about the situation. And so again, I heard Eric Gonzalez's side, and then I got Pastor Dowell's side. And then with that, I was like, okay, I get it. I understand. So I didn't go in with a one-sided approach. Now, as far as your question, am I qualified to speak on this? Yes, I know Pastor Dowell. I talked to him about this. When this resurfaced a couple months ago with Ringo, I went to Pastor Dowell. And you want to know what I asked Pastor? I said, Pastor, if this is all lies, why don't you go on there and just lay it all out and dispel all the rumors and everything like that? And he's like, I ain't got to give them no answer. And if you know Pastor, again, most people haven't really been around a man like that. But if you know Pastor, he says what he means what it says. And a lot of people will take it the wrong way. So I was like, but I was like, look, they saying all this stuff and it's bad press. He's like, I ain't got to give them no answer. And I was like, okay. And then I came back to him. Well, can you tell me what happened? He went into every single detail of what happened. You see what I'm saying? And went through the whole thing. He literally don't care. He said he addressed it 10 years ago. He not dealing with it again. Now, me, I understand media. I understand, what people think and all that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just the type of man he is. He's not, but people swear he's lying. He's trying to hide something. If you believe that man's hiding something, call the number behind him. Go on out there. Talk to him. Meet him. I mean, we just did a meeting in Dallas. We put the address out there to the public. You could have came there and talked to him and asked her. That's man shit. Like Pastor Rufus said, go to Elder Becker, get right in his talk, talk to him face to face. I'm gonna do it. I'm also be talking to Pastor Dowell after this also. I make it make sense. But some of these people are coming in here, and I don't know who y'all are. Y'all saying stuff, and it's like, bro, don't just say things just because you're saying things. You know what I'm saying? Just to say things, because you be held accountable for that. Brother Brainwavezz, man, this dude putting on a great example. And I saw, like, Brainwavezz, I didn't know who you were until recently, till some of this stuff happened. And then you were brought to my attention. But I heard something in there. I was like, yo, like, some of the stuff he's saying, I don't like what he's saying, but there's something there where there's some realism, something there. You know what I'm saying? And if anybody knows me, you never see me in the comments on nothing. Now I watch, I have to watch almost everything, but you never see me come in the comments. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, but yeah, that's what I wanted to say, Brainwavezz. I wanted to drop that.
Yeah, it's a lot to unpack. Not so much for even us necessarily, but definitely all the viewers. Like, I know a lot of people are going to be talking, and a lot of people are going to have some positive things, some negative things to say, depending on who you're referring to. Like, again, I want to be that example of everyone saying, you did this and you did that. So I don't want to be a hypocrite, because I get people calling me names. I saw people saying stuff about Ringo. I'm like, look, Ringo came about me, jumping on me. There is no receipt. There is no video. There's no private message. I got all the receipts. Like, I got receipts going years back, proving my character and interaction with Ringo, as well as videos of what he said and how I supported him, but how he just threw me under the bus just because of my association with New Breed. Just because he saw me go to Unlimited Potential Farms, because I wanted to put eyes on the situation and check it out for myself, so I wouldn't be a hypocrite and say, well, they're saying this and they're saying that, or this is. I wanted to find out, meet the man, see what's what, see if I can put two and two together and be fair and just in the matter, see how he deals face to face as a man, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm getting called all types of things and labeled just because people see me around. I'm my own man. I said this once, I'll say it twice. I don't answer to anyone but the Most High Yah. Now, I will respect someone, you know, if they request or they need to say something. Obviously, we need to move in honor. We need to move in righteousness. So there's ways, you know, if someone calls on you or requests of you, you have to respond in kind, depending on what it is. I don't want to get too technical. And so in this situation, I said, look, this is too much going on. And this is why I wanted to bring Brother Michael on, as well as anyone for that matter currently at Straitway that wants to talk about anything, because and I want y'all to take this in consideration. None of us are perfect. Think about the things that you've done. Things that you've done that you regret, things that you may have repented for, maybe you didn't repent for. Just depends on what it is. But there's things that we all have done that maybe we could say, maybe I should have did it this way, or should not have done it at all.
Hey, brother Brainwavezz, I wanted to address something else real quick, if I could.
Absolutely.
I see somebody, and this falls in line with which you were saying. Okay, somebody wrote, Michael Israel, we don't want to hear from you about the alleged adultery. We want to hear from Dowell and Nelly and all those other saints of Straitway who are eyewitnesses to it back then. So look, you got to try to understand, because at first I didn't really understand. When I was like, Pastor, just go out there, do a video, put all the details out there. And he's like, I ain't got to answer them people. That's what he would say. At first I didn't understand it. I understand it now. If you really wanted to know, and if the Most High is really dealing with you, listen, these people aren't hard to get in contact with. It's not. Believe it or not. I mean, the man sits there, Pastor Dow sits there. There's a phone number right behind him. It's not that hard. Now, you're not going to call that phone number and it's going to be Pastor, hello? No, they're going to take a message. And if you're serious, if you just want, because people will call up there and say, and just be malicious. But if you sincerely being led and you're wanting to know, hey, is this the place? Look, you literally can watch my footwork on my videos. You could go back 5-6 years when I met Pastor Dow. You know what I'm saying? He invited me out to the land. If you serious about Straitway, it's not that hard to go out to Straitway. But what I'm trying to tell people is be careful saying things because it looks a certain way, but you didn't follow the biblical protocol and get both sides of the story. You see what I'm saying? So I just want to make that point. You know what I'm saying? Because and look, this doesn't have to do with my viewership or Straitway's viewership or anything. When the Most High sends people, nothing can stop them from coming. And when the Most High ain't dealing with people, nothing can get them to come. But I'm just, for the sake of your salvation, follow the biblical protocol. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just, and all I'm doing, Brainwavezz, I'm just going through the questions. If I see something, I'm just trying to address it. That's all.
Absolutely. Please continue, brother. I have no problem with that because I know people want to ask you. You're here. And also, just I didn't get to say this earlier, but I hope this is not the last time that we just even have dialogue.
Anytime, man. Anytime, brother.
I'll come on
Anytime.
your show as well.
Yep.
I'll come to Straitway, and people ask, well, why are you doing that? What you trying to get in bed with Straitway? Again, it's all about perception. If that's what you want to believe, so be it. I can't control what a man or woman wants to believe. If that's what you want to believe, so be it. What I'm doing is I want to show people that how can I sit up here and say I'm holding brother Michael Israel accountable for anything. I don't care if it's just the smallest things, like, you probably don't want to say that, brother. It could just be something silly, something real small. How could I even go there if I haven't even established myself in terms of showing who I am, my character, showing that I'm a brother that's supposed to be in righteousness, that is qualified to even speak on a matter, even as insignificant as something just silly. I don't really want to go into details because I know people take stuff and try to twist and say, well, you saying someone said this? It's not that serious. What I want us to focus on is there's a lot of finger pointing. He did this. He said this. This person's in sin. They're in wrong. You need to be held accountable. What we need to get back to is making sure that we hold ourselves accountable for the things that we are doing or the things that we aren't doing, and making sure that we're in right standing with the Most High. This is what we need to get back to. We need to get focused back on the book, and there's not a lot of that. You don't see actual fellowship. You see none of that going on. We hear about this. We're hearing the word all day, every day, as they say. Not every day, every day.
Hey, I wanted to address something. Somebody, they put, okay, somebody said Dowell has made divorce, adultery, and polygyny his number one doctrine. Listen, y'all. Again, this thing, y'all gotta listen, because and maybe this will shed some light on how I think, and maybe some of y'all, on how things go. Listen. The building block of a nation is going to be your marriage. Marriage is the building block of it. If you want to destroy a people, destroy the marriages. That was the first thing Satan attacked in the word. When you read the word, he attacked the woman to destroy that. And to this day, particularly in this country, that's how they destroyed us as a people. That's why we are totally destroyed now. Why? Because they know the power of it. Now you think about what I'm saying. If you get a man, like I know me when I was 20 years old, when I was in my 20s, I was like you know, I could have easily had 3 or 4 women. You get if you get let's say you have 3 wives, you have each wife has 4 or 5 children, and you work hard, and you're in your 20s, brothers. By the time y'all, if you rear them according to the word, y'all live together and everything like that, by the time you turn 45, you have your retirement. Your retirement is there. You don't have to go to these nations. If you live on a farm or something, you don't need to go to them for food. If you rear that family according to the word, like, this is the deception in the brainwaves. The family is so important, it doesn't even make sense. But for the record, that's not all Pastor speaks on, but it is a big thing that he has to teach on, because, brothers, if we don't have families, we can't really be a functioning nation. And you know what I'm saying? The reason why we're so reliant, part of the curse is, the reason why we're in the condition we in is because of the state of the family. And I'm telling you, I know people, y'all seen my show. I did a show years ago when I was coming into Straitway. I had Arnold Murray on my show. He's a 3rd generation polygynist. And you know, I know he likes to stay low key, so I'm not going to disclose nothing, but I would just say this. His family, his children are large enough that if I disclose how he's moving and how he's operating, it would boggle your mind. Literally, but I will say this. If people understood the importance of the family, because all through the book, it's all a model of a family, and it pushes family. Literally, when you look at the whole Bible, it's literally a model of a family and everything. If you a family is it's a weapon of mass destruction to these other nations. And you know, our people could make a family quick and continue making it. And literally, if people get this, in one generation, a whole nation could literally raise up. Within like a 20-year period, you could have a nation pop up out of nowhere. But in order to do this, there has to be order. There has to be biblical order and obedience. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to hit that because that's a big thing right there. So, all right, that's what I wanted to say on that, Brother Brainwave.
That's and you know, let me piggyback off of the family aspect. So Brother Michael already covered one aspect of family. Another aspect is, at the end of the day, and this is what we have to realize, we're supposed to be brothers and sisters. Those of us that claim we love and we believe in and we follow the Most High Yah, then by definition, that makes us family. That technically makes us brothers and sisters. Just by a simple definition. It's not complicated. It's not.
All right. Hey, Brother Brainwave, I wanted to address something else. Somebody put they got a good statement or question here. They put, Michael, Straitway has kept many people from their families. And again, you're going to have to come. Don't just throw stuff out that looks like it's some type of way, because I can tell you, I'm boots on the ground. I'm in here. And I have seen, I've seen situations that people might say, oh, they keeping them from their family. Brothers, I'm sitting here telling you, there's a lot of situations we've seen in here where men just simply don't have their house in order. Okay. And I ain't gonna put nobody out there, but I guarantee if I went and I told y'all the eyewitness situations that we've seen happen here, you would do an about face on that statement. Now, somebody else said that Pastor Dowell, I'm trying to find it because the comments are coming in. It says, Michael, it says, you guys have R.G. Steer's ideology. And R.G. Steer is a guy that Pastor was a part of his thing. When it was found out that this dude was a pederast touching children and stuff like that, Pastor left. But R.G. Steer had communities. Okay. So if that's what you want to say, that we have that ideology, then yes, we do have communities. Pastor learned a lot from him as far as building a community. So if you want to say that, yes, but we follow book. We could Bible all the moves that we're making and that we're functioning in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, they're asking some.
All right, somebody asked about the Bryson Meir and the Pastor Mears situation. And I did a video on that. And I'm going to tell you what I said in that video. I'm going to reiterate what I said. I said as much as I could say in that video, but even if, say it was Ringo or New Breed or something, they fell into serious legal trouble like that, I wouldn't speak on it. And this is my brother, Pastor Meir, and I'm not, until this whole thing is over, I'm not really saying anything because I don't want to, say the wrong thing or whatever like that. So, but what I can say is I'm read in on that situation to a degree, so I understand, a bunch of stuff concerning that situation. And boy, there was some crazy stuff being said online that it's like, bro, this ain't nothing but Satan trying to get some of y'all to damn your own soul and to be in sin and to sit there, be saying stuff, and you don't have all the facts. So, you have to be careful. But, yeah.
I think that's a great point that you just made, Brother Israel. It's one thing to ask questions. Like, we understand when situations happen, they come about, people have questions. So it's one thing to perhaps ask questions, but it's another thing to just stand on and say, this is what it is. I already know what it is. You just make your mind up about it.
I got another one. Somebody said, imagine teaching that the Most High is a God of divorce. Why would a pastor push that message? And again, you need to study your word. The Most High is a divorcee. He gave Israel a bill of divorce. If you study the word, this is why Christ had to die in order to be reconciliated with them. Now, I'm just saying, and I mean, I'm not going to go into a whole message, but in the Bible, if you look up in the New Testament where it says, it talks about putting away and it talks about divorce. Putting away is separation. And what the men would do, they get mad at their wives and put them away. So they separate from them, but they wouldn't give them a bill of divorce. So it put the wife into a position where if she slept with anybody, she'd be sinning. And the men would do this out of maliciousness. And what the word says is he'd rather give them a bill of divorce and divorce them so that they're not put in a place to sin. Because he said, if you put your wife away in that manner, you are going to end up, you're going to be in trouble also. And I don't have all the verses, do the whole teaching or whatever, but I just, I saw somebody named S. Oh, you put it up there. He put it up there on the screen. They asked that question. Somebody said, but what about Pastor Kelly? And you're talking about Richardson Kelly. I think you're talking about Pastor Richardson Kelly. I knew Pastor Richardson Kelly way back when. I met him down in Jacksonville. He's ate over my house before and everything. He's from Jersey like me. You know, we were pretty cool, but I'm gonna tell you what happened at the Great Awakening Hebrew Gathering, Ron Dalton's event. Richardson Kelly and a bunch of other people got mad that Pastor Dowell got the Hebrew Man of the Year award, and Richardson Kelly, I think you're talking about Richardson Kelly. I think that's who you're talking about. Richardson Kelly took his trophy or award that Ron Dalton had gave him, and he put it in a garbage can. He took a picture of it and posted it on social media. And it was this whole big falling out with him and Pastor Dowell and all that. So if that's what you're inquiring about. So yeah, I think that's what you're asking.
I see a couple more questions. Brother Israel here in the chat.
Yeah, if you find a good one, just throw it up there. You know, like I said,
they're scrolling. Okay. Here's one. It's about the whole divorce scenario. Lala says, I thought the wife was bound to her husband until he died.
And again, if somebody could post it in the comments or whatever, there's a scripture about divorce in Matthew, and somebody could find it and post it, and it talks about, and what it is, when you read it, it says if they be it talks about divorce, but then when you look, it uses divorce in the two verses or whatever twice. But what they did when they translated it to English, if you look it up, go to the Blue Letter Bible. If you look that word up in the Blue Letter Bible, one of the words where it says divorce is putting away in Greek. But what they did, they put divorce on it. So in the Greek, which is what the Bible was, the New Testament was translated from, that word is putting away, and then the other word is divorce. So, if you go to Blue Letter Bible, you will see that in there. You know what I'm saying? And then it also talks about, because of the hardness of your hearts, he allowed people to divorce and everything like that, because, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, he gave the northern tribe of Israel a bill of divorce. You can read about that in there too. Like I said, I just jumped on the show, so I don't have all my Bible verses in front of me to really go through and break it down. But you can kind of Google some of that and find a lot of what I'm talking about. So good question.
And Brother Israel, I did put the scripture up on the screen. It's in Matthew 19, verses 3 through 9. So as you were actually speaking on it, everyone should be able to see the scriptures on the screen about it.
So let me it says Pharisees also came. It says, and he answered and said unto them, have ye not read that he which made them at the beginning made them? Where is it at?
The putting away part.
Unto him, why did Moses then command to give a writing of divorcement and put it in her hand? So that's talking about divorce. And he says, listen, next it says, he saith unto them, Moses, because of the hardness of your hearts, suffered you to put away your wives. So putting away means separate. Okay. But from the beginning, it was not so. And I say unto you, whosoever shall put away his wife. Now, again, putting away means separate from her, except it be for fornication, and shall marry another. So what they would do, they would put the wife away, meaning separate, not divorce, separate, and then can you put it back up there because I can't see it.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Yeah. So they would put their wife away because except it be for adultery, and marry another woman. So they would put her away and then marry another one. And now that woman would be sitting there burning with lust, but that man would have another wife. He'd be good to go. It said, except it be for fornication, shall and marry another committed adultery. So they're calling that adultery, but that's putting away. That's not divorcing. Okay. And whoso marrieth her, which is put away, again, she's separated. She's not divorced, but doeth commit adultery. Okay. So, and like I said, you got the verse there. What I would do, don't just go by what I'm saying. Look it up. Look them words up. Look it up in the KJ. Is that a KJV, brother?
Yes, it is.
Okay. And just read it in context. Read the whole chapter, you know, and read the whole thing and look it up in the Greek, in a concordance or something, or in Blue Letter Bible, and then you'll get it. Hey, Brother Brainwavezz, you could take it down. There you go. So yeah.
And that's
so I'm seeing if there's any other questions.
Let's see. Let's go see if I can catch up. This one is about Straitway and Pastor Dowell's perception of family. Brother said, Michael Israel, Dowell told a sister named Tammy if she goes to see her mother, he told her don't come back. He said this just recently.
I don't. I'm just being straight up. I don't know. I didn't see that. I would have to get the whole context and see what it is and look into it. You know what I'm saying? So
I think that's fair, yeah, to not and that's what we're supposed to do. We shouldn't comment on things if we don't have a complete understanding of what's going on. If we hadn't heard the picture or have everything that's available at the time, then we should avoid actually speaking on situations. I did actually hear, I think it was on one of Pastor Dowell. It was during a Shabbat service. I can't remember which one. I don't know, one of the last couple ones or something like that. I can't remember exactly. He spoke on it, but he did mention that Sister Tammy's family, the mom was, she was wicked, and it's a lot that goes on.
Oh, okay. So I vaguely know one situation where there was a sister, and she was there on Straitway, and the mother, for whatever reason, called the police and told this lie that something was going on over there, and the cops came out there. You know what I'm saying? Which can be dangerous, So there was a situation like that, or along that lines, So maybe it's that, but like I said, I didn't hear about all that. But yeah, speak that situation with with New Breed and Ringo. I'm glad. I'll tell you a little about New Breed. I talked to years ago. I talked to him. He's going to come to an event I was doing and stuff. So I've known him for a while. But looking at this situation, it's like there has to be, grace and mercy in the situation, all that stuff like that. Because it sounds like New Breed, he repented, to a degree. I can see why it's a touchy situation, but at the end of the day, brothers just need to get on the phone and get in direct contact. Like, the numbers involved, I don't know. But it sounds like at first New Breed didn't want to get on the phone with him, all that stuff like that. I don't, so I don't, it is what it is now, but
this is an example. This is why we are talking right now. This is why you see us talking right now, because we don't want to repeat things that we've seen. I don't want to be a hypocrite of encouraging and repeating things. It's one thing if you witness something, or even if you were a part of it, but once you know that something is not correct, and definitely the way that both of them have been handling this situation is just not correct. It never should have went public. It should have been behind the scenes. Even if they felt some type of way, then that just could have been an issue quietly behind the scenes. It never should have gotten to this point, but unfortunately it did. It's out here. I don't know if Ringo's gonna stop. I mean, he's just making video after video after video. A lot of the points that Brother Israel said, he's literally playing right into it. It's exactly like what came out of Straitway. They said that this was going to happen. These things are taking place.
And I wanted to speak on that. So this is the big thing, okay, with Ringo. 1 minute he was totally cool with Straitway and everything like that, and then literally overnight he started doing videos, and I started hearing about it. And then I started hearing more about it. And then it was like a whole month worth of just video after video after video. And it's like he never reached out to Pastor. He never reached out to him. He never got anybody to go see him, anything. And it just went on and on and on. And and it was like, wow, that's amazing. And I mean, and heavy lies, like one video he put out was with a girl who was a part of our assembly. She had some mental issues, and she was just completely lying. Because I think the girl was bipolar, and she was good, and then all of a sudden she just poof. And literally, I mean, Floridian Rollo, Let's Go, put that video on his channel, and then Ringo said, hey, give me that video. And Florian Rollo like, yeah, I'll send it over. Send it over to Ringo. Ringo put it mainstream and was talking on it like it was fact. And bro, that's wicked, man. You can't, like, bro, you got a huge following. And to go on there and just do like 8-hour videos on unverified stuff, man, that's going to catch up with you, man. Like, you got to, you know, people, look, you got to be careful when people are rolling like that and operating like that. And again, I know you like, even like, things got to be provable, observable, repeatable. You know what I'm saying? There got to be like some eyewitness testimony to some degree on both sides. Real talk. I just keep on. When I did my video about New Breed and Ringo, I think I saw Ringo's video first, but I listened to enough of New Breed's to get both sides and see what was going on. I didn't just run with what Ringo said, you know. And I mean, at the end of the day, you see it things that both of them got going on that they need to deal with. And look, getting sharpened, because I'm gonna just keep it 100 with y'all. Like, getting sharpened, there's gonna be friction, and it ain't comfortable. So people have a natural jerk response, me included. And do I get sharpened? Yeah, I get sharpened. I be in Straitway, like I be getting rebuked by, and I'm over in assembly, and there's stuff I do in assembly that ain't right that I got to deal with and grow in and develop. And I do. I grow from it. And it's not fun. It's not always fun, but the fruit that comes forth with the brotherhood is priceless. You see what I'm saying? And, you know, so I just wanted to say that.
Oh, wow. This is a big one. And as soon as I read it, Brother Israel, I could tell it's already a misunderstanding just reading the question. So I'm going to put it on the screen. Hopefully you should be able to see it. If not, I'll read it out to you.
Okay. Why did Dowell not support UP Farms? Again, what's his name? Ringo TV came out and for a month straight, 2 months straight, did videos. We let them do the videos for a month before we began responding, because we didn't, we were like, hey, people always say stuff about us. Most of the time, we don't even address it. So we just, hey, let him say what he say, whatever. But then we could see it was becoming malicious, and he had, it seemed like he had ill intent about what he was trying to do. So we began addressing it 2 months straight. Then about halfway into doing these videos, New Breed got involved. He was doing videos. Now, he wasn't doing nearly as much as Ringo, but he was going in. And so they were doing their videos, and literally they came together with the UP Farms thing over all this stuff, because of all them going at Pastor, making these accusations about him being an adulterer and his stuff he had did. That's literally, I think, I would like to say that's how they linked up. I know that's the first time I seen him on the show, and then they linked up and all that stuff like that. And the thing is, one of the things New Breed said is, he said, we're going to show how it's done. Some of the videos New Breed did was like, because we ain't going to be under, he made reference to Pastor Dowell. They ain't going to be up under nobody like him. They're going to show how it's done. And they said, one of the things he said is, it's not going to be about a religion. You could come whatever your belief might be. And I'm like, bro, we automatically know that's not going to work. You got to be of one mind. Like, to live like this, everybody got to have the same mindset. It ain't going to work. So we're not signing off. We sign off on book and what y'all say. We're not signing off on some of the stuff that we could discern clearly was being said and that they were bringing out. Now, in the Hebrew Israelite community out there, there's a lot of mixed beliefs on doctrine. And I'll put it like this, there's always going to be little doctrinal differences, but on a moral level, you got to be, on a moral level, on a foundational level, I'm lockstep with Straitway and how they move. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. I mean, and it's required in order to have that unity. And like the Bible says, how pleasant it is when brothers dwell together in unity. So we could automatically see that, hey, this isn't going to go well. And I mean, again, we've been here, like Pat's been doing this 30 something years. I've been doing it about 5 years. Now, I am not on land, but we do live communally. Okay. We don't have a big piece of land though yet. We're working on it. So we can discern what the word says. And because we live together, and I'm going to explain why I'm saying, and then I'll take that question. SOL just popped up there after that. But I can explain why we understand stuff the way we do. When you do what the Bible says and you live around your brother and have all things in common, like when I was down in Jacksonville, Florida, we had like a 1,600 square foot, 3-bed, 2-bath house. And we had about 3 families and a bunch of other brothers living in there all together. Me and my family stayed in one room. Me and my wife slept on the bottom bunk. My 2 children slept on the top bunk. We had another family in another room, another family in another room, some brothers who slept in the living room, and we were all like-minded, and we dwelled together in unity. And the Bible and the verses in the Bible pop off the book when you're actually living like that. You really understand what selflessness is. You really understand what these scriptures are saying. So living like that, being in situations like that, when you see people going on these endeavors to do things, you can see it clearly as day way out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asked, are you lockstep with Mir? Yes, I am. Yes, yes. But like I said, I'm not speaking on that situation because, again, it's a legal situation and I'm not saying anything until afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Just out of, you have all things in do you have all things in common? Yes, um we have all things in common. We have a one pot system for our money, put all of our money together. And we have all things in common. Yeah. And in order to do that, you got to have some serious minded saints that's serious about Yah. You know what I'm saying? And again, when you begin moving, living, operating like that, this Bible takes on a whole different meaning. You get a level of understanding of the Bible that you would not get sitting there just ever learning and never really walking this thing out. So to your question, yes, we have all things in common. I mean, we don't share underwear and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? But you understand what I mean, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. And like I said, it ain't all, you know, it ain't all peaches and oh, it's all perfect over here. We have issues, as the Bible said you would. But again, you learn to trust in what Most High put in that word. You learn to trust in that in dealing with these issues. You see how efficient and effective the wisdom that Yah put in that Bible. You see how efficient and effective it is. It's a blessing when you stick to it. And I'm going to tell you a heavy thing, man. One of the big things, I'm going to tell you one of my biggest, and I know Pastor Rufus doesn't see it this way, but I'm telling you one of my biggest wake-up calls I've had is it tells you, servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. For it's thankworthy if a man for conscience towards God endure grief, suffering, and suffering wrongfully. And that is such a heavy scripture to me because when you live communally with brothers and sisters, there's times where you just, for the sake of the brotherhood, and for the sake of peace, you got to take the meek, humble route. Hey, I could do this, but you know what? I'm going to take this route. I'm not going to, even though I can. And I have brothers that deal with me like that. And I deal with my brothers like that. And like, look, you can talk about it, but when you see it, then you understand it. Because we get it, man. Living here, man, you get to know everything about your brother. And one of the big things you learn is he ain't perfect. Just like Brainwavezz said, he ain't perfect and I'm not perfect, but we're striving towards perfection. And like I said, Michael Israel, I'm not perfect. I got my issues. I make my mess ups and all that, but I'm striving towards this thing. You know what I'm saying? And once you begin walking this out and living this way, man, you begin to have a desire for it. Somebody said, Mike, do you agree that Pastor Dowell has changed for the worse over the years? No. But I'll tell you what I do. I moved up here. I live close to the hub, and I deal with Pastor a lot. Okay. And I'm going to say this. When I came to Straitway, I was pleading with the Most High because I was dropping my daughters that I love. I was dropping them off at school, and I knew it was messing them up spiritually, morally. My wife had to go to work. I knew it wasn't good. And now, if you watch my channel, I'm gonna be coming out with a video now. Like my daughters are homeschooled. The women here teach them and educate all the children. One of the sisters here was a nurse. She just did a midwife course with them. And these girls is young. Some of the girls is like 10 years old, and they will break down stuff about the female reproductive system and make your head spin. And just to watch their spiritual growth and development and all that. And then I look at Pastor Dowell, because I deal with him very closely. I do. I'm not close like Pastor Rufus was to him, but I deal with Pastor closely. And I appreciate what he galvanized, what he forged out, and in the Straitway model that he has. What I do see with Pastor Dowell is, dude, he's tough. Like, and I don't think, I could guarantee most of y'all have never been around a dude that's like tough like he is, but he's also been hurt a lot. I mean, he's been doing this 30 years. And brothers and sisters, I'm trying to tell you, like, I've been doing this for 5 years, and like bro, this thing is real. It's real. The Most High is real. And I'm telling you, and this is heavy. I really want Brainwavezz, man, I want you to really hear what I'm getting ready to say now, because this is heavy. All right. I know y'all make these accusations. Pastor Rufus makes these accusations. I know without a shadow of a doubt, the Most High got his eye on Straitway, and he's dealing with it. And if anybody here gets out of line, the Most High gonna deal with it. We had a situation here, man. We had a brother in this assembly, in my assembly, that I've rebuked endlessly about being careless, about not paying attention and being mindless, and just not being locked in and conscious of what's going on. And this dude ended up dying tragically. He got hit head on by a car and got killed. And he was doing the exact thing that I had rebuked him about for a long time. And we knew it was a scary moment, because that was judgment, y'all. And it's real. Like, it was judgment. And the Most High is merciful, because I went, like, I had yelled at that brother so much about this very thing. He had gotten an accident with us. Like, he was driving a bus, and we were asleep. We were coming back from somewhere, and everybody was asleep. And he was driving the bus, and to this day, we don't know whether he was on his phone or not. He hit a car, and the person in that, he killed the person in one of the people in the car. And the accident like traumatized me to this day. Like, if a car hit a hard bump, it messed me up. So he got in that accident. Then he got in another accident with his car and hurt a lady. And he was on his phone with that. And then this happened. And like, if I went into details the way it happened, it's like, boy, I see how y'all work. Y'all, the way y'all communicate is through situations. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that goes back to what I say. If somebody's doing something and they try, that's just one story. There's actually another story, but I don't want to put it out there. And it's even more terrifying, to where I know the Most High is right. He got his eye on people who claim to be, hey, I'm being righteous. He got his eye on them. He'll deal with them. He's faithful and just. That's why I say a lot of people trying to be detectives, and he did do it, but you can't prove it. And if that man did it and he's lying about it, boy, the Most High is faithful and just. Like, I done watched it. I done seen it. This thing is real. When you sign on and you commit to it, it's real, man. The Most High real. He here, you know. So hopefully I didn't ramble and I answered the question. I know I went on a tangent, but I wanted to drop that there.
No, we needed that, brother Israel.
Oh,
You
and real
said,
fast, I didn't answer the question though. Do you agree pastor has changed over the years? Y'all, so I told you this story that happened with me and this guy, one of the brothers here who died. You know what I'm saying? And that's just 5 years, you know, but you multiply my experience times 30 or something. Like he has dealt with some stuff that I'm still not on a level to deal with. Dealing with funerals, like you name it. So you come and you ask, you know, did he change for the worse? Man, like I talk to him. I look him in his eyes. I have talks with him and everything like that. And what I see is a man who's serious about the Most High, and he says what he means what he says. He's rough around the edges by his own, you know what I'm saying? By his own, he says it in his shows. He comes off a certain way. But if you listen to him, not through your emotions, but through spiritual eyes, it's very clear what he's about. It's very clear. But why not, if you don't believe what I'm saying, why not do what the Bible says? It says, prove all things and hold fast to that which is true. It's not hard to go meet him. So somebody asked, are they still pooping in buckets at Straitway? No. I mean, I did a video recently and I showed y'all in the video that I did with Pastor Dowell. I showed you the trailer Pastor Dowell started Straitway in. I also showed you the buildings they live in now and how nice they are and how they're still building. You know, I showed y'all all that. But they did. He started out from humble means. And now here he is getting ready to be in his 60s. And people saying he's building a mansion. I do low voltage electrical work. We're wiring up the data in the house and everything. Listen, he has 4 wives. 2 of them are in childbearing years. And to look at that house, they're going to outgrow that pretty quickly. It's actually a humble home for a man with 4 wives. And here he is. If you see the house he lives in now, it's like I go by, like I'll do a video and show y'all the house. It's a humble home. His whole family isn't even in one house right now. So again, a lot of people, you're listening to things people out here saying, and it's like it's a attack from Satan trying to get y'all to be off when you could go out, like get to know Straitway, watch some messages, go out there, go talk to him. Next event he has, go talk to him, shake his hand, look him in the eyes, and prove him. Somebody said, JR, he not going to answer. He skip over that. What did I skip over? Can somebody tell me? I agree. Oh, here it is right here. He said, Brother Brainwavezz, can you scroll down a little where, oh, I could do it. I could do it here. All right. JR asks, I'm not ducking no smoke. I agree. The Most High is judging Straitway with Nelly, Rufus, the mirror situation. That's what he's saying. But JR, I want to ask you, have you been out to Straitway? Because when I go out there, it's going like me and the brothers, we go out for the last month or so, we go out there almost every weekend to do work and stuff like that. It's the most peaceful place to go. We look forward to going up there. When we out there on Straitway, y'all, it is so peaceful. I actually brought this situation up to one of the saints that live on Straitway on what's going on out there on social media, and he had no idea what was going on. He just loving Yah, serving Yah, waking up, living his best life with the saints. So to say that it's judgment and all this stuff is going on, I don't see it. Like in this home assembly here, this has been the most peaceful my life has ever been, because we have created a righteous environment for our women and our children to grow in. And we watch our women and our children grow more and more righteous every day. It's a blessing. So to go and say that, hey, it's like when you look on social media paint Straitway, it looked like it's Armageddon over in Straitway, and like we in Compton and it's Crips and Bloods or some shit, and it couldn't be further from the truth. That's why I say a lot of these people, they need to stop listening to these people on social media that's lying to them, and some of these people being proven to be liars on social media, and they need to get boots on the ground. They need to go meet somebody in person. For the longest, it wasn't hard to see me in person. I was all over the place. But y'all listening to people who have no skin in the game. Like they literally will, all their witness is their fingers. They just type something and that's that. So somebody asked, so you don't think mere freedom being taken away was judgment? Case not dropped, nothing. He bailed out. Interesting. Well, like I said, I don't know what that name is, but like I said, with the mirror situation, I did a video on my channel, and I'll reiterate again, because it's tied up and it's a legal situation, I'm not speaking on it until it's clear to speak on it, because I don't want to. And I would do that for any of y'all. I would do that for anybody. I don't want nobody caught up with no legal stuff, so I'm not speaking on it. But in time, everything will come out. You know what I'm saying? Somebody asked, Michael Israel, do you want more than one wife? Yes. And Sister Koya, that's my wife now, she's come on and said she desires to have a sister wife and everything like that. I'm not in a position to do it now. I'd like to wait till I get on land. And there's other things I want to get in place before I make that move. But again, when you get a wife in a righteous environment, because I know a lot of women out in the world, or women who don't live this way, that's the last thing they would want, because they see all the drama and all that. But when you're around this and you see the blessings that come forth from it, then it makes perfect sense. But again, it's about living the Hebraic culture, not just talking about it, but living a Greco-Roman culture. When you live this thing, it takes on a different meaning. All right, I'm trying to read this other one. I wasn't a part of Straitway. I watched Pastor Corey come in. I watch you come. So when people ask questions, they ask from stuff they remember from way back. I followed Dowell before you came, Michael. Okay, hallelujah. Okay. I want more than one wife myself. That's not against the Most High. No, it's all through the book, But again, yeah, that's a whole nother topic. It's like, go ahead. You had something, Brainwave?
No, I'm just laughing because when you said it's a whole nother topic, I kind of already know. So I'm just laughing at that point.
Look, hey, look, being a part of a community, and being like I'm the head of a community, and the equivalent of that, that's like it's almost like being the head of a big household, And to be a husband, you need to have one level of maturity, and then to be a husband and a father, you need to be on a whole nother level of growth and development and everything. Somebody said, can I have two husbands? Even scientifically, that ain't going to work well, because if you ever notice, women who have what they call, I guess today, a high body count, a lot of those women suffer from psychosis. But when you look at it from a spiritual level, these women, what do they call that, Brother Brainwaves? They call it like, I forget. They got a spiritual husbands or something like that. But they got,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So it just, you can look at it from a lot of different angles. You can look at it from a strictly scientific way of when sperm goes in a woman, it changes her DNA and how it alters her body. And I mean, you could really get into that, but on a biblical level, no, you don't need, it don't make sense. But then when you live this, when you live this out and have multiple wives, then you can really see it really makes sense. And when most women are selfish, a lot of women are wicked because they're selfish. And something that's going to get that spirit of selfishness off a woman, nothing is going to be more effective of getting the spirit of selfishness off a woman than having multiple wives. Really having it so she could live her life. Let's see.
This Clifton, Brother Israel, he's I don't know. He's saying, bring me on the panel. I need a word with Michael.
That's fine. I ain't ducking no smoke. Hey, let's do it.
I'll put the link back in the chat. Clifton,
I mean, for the sake of your show, Brainwavezz, just make sure he's not going to come in yelling and stuff, because sometimes people come in acting crazy.
Well, if he does that, like, they should already know.
I think he's go ahead. I'm sorry. Tucker. What were you saying?
I was just saying, if he comes on here and he just, starts doing all that and raging out, he's done. So yeah. People already know. If you need to come on, Clifton, the link is at the top of the chat. I'll put it back in the chat again. Again, be respectful. Y'all know the rules. Y'all know how it is. I know a lot of people feel a certain way. This is not the time to be coming on here raging out on Brother Israel. This solves nothing anyway for anyone that would want to go about it that way.
It just shows us who you are. I mean, it does do that. We know who you are now. But hey, I wanted to address this real quick. Somebody said, Michael Israel, when Pastor Dowell said he doesn't love Pastor Rufus, was that a righteous statement to make during the Sabbath service? I'm not sure about exactly what you're talking about, but I do know this. I will say this, and I think Pastor put a video out or whatever. But again, what I said, Pastor Dowell and Pastor Rufus were very close. And clearly this hurt both of them, okay? And Pastor has apologized and repented to the saints about, hey, he got caught back up into going back and forth with him and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And again, I'm not sitting here saying, oh, Pastor's perfect, he's sinless, he does everything perfect. He's a human. He says that himself, That's a level of understanding we need to have with everybody. I mean, man, I could tell y'all some stuff, and y'all, it would say a lot, but man, a lot of y'all, man, y'all need to just meet. If this is really getting under your skin, go talk to people, man. That's what the book tell you to do. Go to them. Don't sit there. Don't be a keyboard warrior, nothing like that. Land does your. Somebody said, when you live on land, does your life belong to the community? The Bible tells you to love your brothers, you love yourself. I don't. When you grew up, when you're a part of your family, does your life belong to your family? Like, what does it mean to be a family member in a family? A lot of y'all, and I know there's a lot of people. They come from dysfunctional families, so they don't even understand that. But the job of a member of any family is to support that family. So but again, reading the Bible, if you read the Bible, you're going to see that and understand it. So you want to bring them on, Brainwave?
I put the link in the chat, and
okay.
he hasn't responded. I know Jonathan, he said, thank you for answering my question, Michael Israel. I want to see Pastor Rufus and Pastor Dowell reconcile.
Hey, listen. Nobody wants to see them reconcile things more than me, because you heard Pastor Rufus come on here and say, when I came into Straitway, it was him. He walked me through everything. You know what I'm saying? This thing, it hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like Big Unk right there. You know what I'm saying? Pastor Rufus, and Pastor Dowell. Like, I thought they were inseparable. You know what I'm saying? But again, a couple, and you heard some of the stuff Pastor Rufus said to me, at the end of the day, I haven't been a part of ecclesiastical council. I'm a head of assembly. I'm not on that level. I ain't been serving to that capacity like they have been serving, but I still stand on what I said. I did participate when everybody told their side of the story. And I also, I listened to everything Pastor Rufus puts out all the way up to this. You saw, he asked me, hey, did you see that video I did? Yeah, I'm watching I'm listening to what you're saying. But I also, I see the areas that are off, and it just, so yeah, that's, if you want to know how I feel. And that's why, I understand, again, I get it. But Pastor Dowell and Pastor Rufus are men. And this whole situation was very painful for them, whether they admit it or not. I think Pastor Rufus, he admitted it on here. You can see how turned up he got with me sometimes. This stuff really bothers him. I'm sure it does. And I know it bothers Pastor too, but
it's a work, everything. This is what you all have to understand. When there's a situation where you have people, it's like peas in a pod, or you have a community, and then there's some type of falling out, there's a lot of layers to it, a lot of work, is a lot of time. It's like it's just like growing, like gardening. You're gonna have to put some time in it. It's just going to take time in order for us to have any fruits bear. So I think a lot of people are thinking, hey, just say this, just go that. There's things that we don't even know about that.
Right. And that's what I want to say. I want y'all to understand this, because a lot of people like, oh, Mike, you just a puppet for Dowell, this, that, and other. Look, let me tell you something straight up. I have a lot of respect for Pastor Dowell, and I have a lot of respect for Pastor Rufus. And and even in the video with him on here, it's like I didn't even want to talk to him the way I did, to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stuff I said, because I do, even right now, I still have a lot of respect for him. But the thing, and at the end of and it goes along with kind of what he said. To a degree, I am in a position where, yeah, I am over the media, and I do a lot with that. But for the most part, I try to stay out of that situation that happened between them and not go in too deep on that. You know what I'm saying? Because, but like I said, I did hear, I've heard everybody's side. I've listened to all the elders or all the people involved tell their side. And I still stand on what I'm standing on concerning that matter,
Clifton says,
all right, somebody,
it's freezing.
Okay, somebody asked, okay, I'll be more specific. Are you able to have your own vision that you want to strive, or do you have to only do you have only be supporting Pastor Dowell's vision? Yeah, Pastor Dowell's the head. He set an example. Like if somebody's been doing something 30 years, because like for instance, when I came to Straitway, I wanted in my mind, I wanted to get do shipping container homes. And Pastor's like, if you're doing community, you need to build this. He's not going to force you to do nothing. But at some point, we need to be wise enough to know, because listen, I'll tell you this. This will kind of answer. When I was in that predicament where I'm dropping my children off at school, I'm in debt up to my eyeballs. My wife is working, and life is just seeming like a hamster wheel. I seek the Father. I prayed. I said, I don't know what to do. Get me out of this. I know this is wicked. Father, show me the way. And then I came to Straitway. And I followed the example that has been proven for over 30 years. And it's working. And I see the fruit. So I fell in with it lockstep. Period. And guess what? As I've done that, I'm out of debt now. I am debt free. Everybody in this house is debt free. All the children in this house are homeschooled. Our women don't work. We get home cooked meals every day. We've grown spiritually over the past 5 years more than we've grown over the last 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So am I following his vision? Yes. Is Pastor imposing his vision on me like Hitler? No. No. You look, that's what I'm saying. Y'all not in this. I'm in it. Dude, if you became a part of it, like me becoming a head of assembly, I was blown away by the silence. I was like, I thought somebody would be coming down here giving me the roadmap. It's clear. Pastor, he wasn't reaching out. Nobody was reaching out. I had to reach out to them. Anytime I reached out, they were right there. They'd answer. And I literally just, eventually it became obvious after a couple months, oh, I just need to follow what they're doing. And I started doing it, and I started reaping the benefits of it. So, but again, I know the narrative gets pushed that Pastor is a dictator and he be out there, blah, blah, because y'all see that on the videos. Couldn't be further from the truth. It couldn't be further from the truth. But again, that's just me running my mouth talking. I say test the boats. You know what I'm saying? I say, hey, call the number. Like I heard Brainwavezz, I heard you mention, you like, hey, I think I'm gonna go out there and put boots on the ground. You know, I heard you say that. Oh, hey, prove all things, hold fast to that which is true. And me talking ain't gonna prove it. Y'all see for yourselves if you don't believe me. But I got like y'all be saying, I got tapes. Literally, you go to Spiritual Combat and you could go back 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and you could see the progression. You could see it. So
absolutely. I thought we had Clifton here. I believe that was him, but I guess we lost him. Again, I was going to bring him on, but Clifton, if you can hear us, try the link again. It looked like everything was working, and I was about to bring you on. So if you can try again, we'll go from there. I like what you said, Brother Israel, and this is what I've been telling people. A lot of people are listening to one person say one thing, like even with the whole Ringo New Breed situation. Y'all listening to Ringo going, and I see people taking sides. You're like, well, I'm taking Ringo's side. Forget what New Breed's got to say. And then same thing. You're hearing New Breed speak, and you're like, well, I'm taking New Breed's side. Forget what Ringo has to say. At the very least, listen to what they're both saying.
There you go.
And if you're going to come to some type of conclusion in the matter, if you are going to do that, at least hear them both out. And when you do, please keep in consideration that we all fall short according to the glory. We're not perfect. You need to keep these things in mind as you come to a conclusion. And even if you say, hey, I think this person is right and that person is wrong, or I've heard people say, I think both of them are wrong. Regardless, you have to be careful what you speak and how you respond to them after that, because again, the Most High Yah is watching us and watching how we move and what we say and what we do. So if you come down unfairly on anyone, regardless of whether they're right or wrong, that's not a good place to be, and that's not a position I'm going to recommend. I'm just going to say it like that. Oh, I think we got Clifton back. I'm going to try to bring him on, Brother Israel.
Okay.
All right. Is this Clifton? I don't know. It says, Yashabam, you are on. Are you able to say anything? I don't know if we got any audio.
I heard him say something. It sounded like he said and then he went back off.
So we'll give him a second, see if he can. If you hear us and we're in the middle of talking, just go ahead and come on. We'll adjust accordingly. I'm so glad, Brother Israel. I know I said this before. I'm actually glad the way that things played out. And I see the wisdom that the Most High had. Me going into making a video or doing a live stream, thinking that it's one thing, thinking that perhaps, we lost them, thinking that it's for one purpose, but the Most High had something else to come about. And I'm so glad it's exactly what the Most High will is. That's what I'm glad about, because there's a lot that's going on, and I know a lot of people in the community are going to be talking about this, and I want them to see if we can talk and have a sensible, reasonable dialogue, answer questions. Brother Israel, he's not ducking smoke, as he says. He's here. He's literally answered everything Pastor Rufus said. Is many of your comments here. I know he will continue. And again, he said, hey, talk to Pastor Dowell, talk to anyone at Straitway. And obviously, like with the Bryson, the whole mirror situation, that's a legal matter.
Right.
And,
right.
comments,
I ain't messing with it.
Yeah, ain't nobody.
Hey, I wanted to answer a question real quick, though. Somebody asked here. They said, so when a marriage takes place, because this is a good question. This is the type of stuff needs to be answered. Somebody asked, so when a marriage takes place, is it only Pastor Dowell choosing who gets to be put together? The way marriage works according to Hebraic culture, the way marriage works is the father of the woman and the father of the man would get together and discuss it. And then the other thing is, you would, the brothers and sisters and everything. So you got a good witness in your spirit on their character and type of person they are. The way it happens in this world is literally like walking into a dark room and the first thing you bump into, you lick it with your tongue. Like you don't know what the heck gonna happen. It's guesswork. And that's why the divorce rate is in some insane number. So the way it works here is, the woman and the man, if they're interested, they talk to whoever's over them, because a woman is always supposed to have covering. A woman is never to be uncovered. She's either supposed to be in her father's house, or she's either supposed to be under her husband's house. She's never supposed to just be out there, independent woman, and all this stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's making and like, if y'all know spiritual combat back in the day, I've extensively taught on relationship, masculinity, marriage, stuff like that, marital roles and stuff like that. And you're gonna, if you go the biblical route and have a marriage where, hey, you tell, like a woman tells her head, whoever her head is, it might be her father Or if you're part of an assembly and you don't have a father or anything, you tell that head of assembly, hey, I'm interested in that brother. Okay. He reaches out to the head of that community, whoever's over that brother, and he asks, hey, how is this brother right here? Oh, he can't keep a job. He struggles with love, his this, his that, all this stuff you would have never known until it was too late. And you're like, you might want to rethink that. But if that's what you want to do, you could do it. But we recommend, boom. So yeah, it's not no force dictated thing. But what happens, brothers and sisters come in here and they realize the righteousness and the holiness of the Hebraic culture, and they see how brutal it is out there in the world. I'm talking about, like you see it, man. Somebody look like the perfect husband, or the perfect wife, and then y'all lay together something, and then they give you something Clorox won't clean off, and then it's just misery from then on out, or something, or who knows. So this is the Hebraic biblical way of marriage and relationship. And what Pastor Dowell says, the marriages that Straitway puts together, and when he says Straitway puts together, the people who use the proper channel to get in a relationship with people, they never have problems. They never split up. There's never a bunch of issues. Now, there's been people go to pastor, hey, I was interested in this one. I'd hold off on that. Again, he will not order you to do nothing contrary to popular belief. And people have went against that. And you see what happens afterwards. I've seen it. I'm telling you stuff I bear witness to. Okay. So hopefully that answered your question. That was a good question. Serve the people.
I have a question, Brother Israel. Actually, I've seen posted several times, so I do want to get that on the screen. Scorpio Mama is asking, is it righteous to teach while drinking? And I believe she's referring to probably the Blog Talk radio sessions, if I had to put 2 and 2 together.
So she's asking, is it a sin to drink a beer while you're reading from the Bible, or talking about the Bible, or teaching the Bible?
I'm pretty sure that. Can you clarify?
I never seen that. I never seen that Bible verse that says that. Now, it is a sin if you sitting there like, oh, and you drunk. It's a sin to be drunk. You know, the Bible tells you don't be drunk. But I see Pastor have a beer. He don't be drunk. I go to the feast, and I be up there when they are drinking. I don't drink because I used to be an alcoholic. So like, you give me a drop of alcohol, my pupils shrink, and I'm like, you know, and and the Most High delivered me from that. And I told the Most High, hey, I ain't drinking no more then. But I'm up there at feasts, and, you know, I don't see Pastor getting wasted or nothing like that. So again, I've seen it. So, you know. All right. Somebody asked, or you had another, you going to ask me some Brainwavezz? Because somebody asked.
I actually have Brother Clifton. I'm going to see if I can bring him in. If your audio's good, Brother Clifton, you're back on.
Yeah, salutations. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hey,
all right, well.
Can I want to answer something real fast, because somebody said Dowell is not the father of the women at Straitway. The seed is the father, whether on community or not. And the Bible says no man have left mother or brother or father for his name's sake. The Most High said he didn't come to hand cupcakes out to gaffers. The Most High came to bring a sword. He came to turn father against mother and stuff like that. So when a woman comes into this and their father doesn't come with them, they submit to the leadership that's above them. So I just want to answer that. But that's all I got.
That's correct. All right. Brother Clifton, go ahead, just in case so we don't lose you. Can you go ahead and share or ask or whatever it is that you had for us? I don't know if we lost your audio again.
He was there for a sec.
He was. I don't know. It's no telling. I just want to elaborate on what you said, Brother Israel, while we're waiting for him to come back through. That is true. Anytime a woman always has to have a spiritual covering. So it's just like you said, if she's not coming in with her father, so if her father doesn't want to have anything to do with Straitway, but she actually wants to have everything to do with Straitway, then she's leaving that covering, and then she comes under the next covering that's available. So that's how it happens, where, okay, now the women would be under the leadership in terms of covering. And then that woman or those women, once they decide to actually get married, yep, we lost Brother Clifton again. But once they decide to get married, then they would be under the covering of their husbands, depending on whoever it is that they decide to marry. So it's one of the things I understand a lot about how doctrine is, how procedures work. And I know a lot of people don't understand it, and it can easily look at, well, this one person is just telling them what to do and sitting there. We have to have order, and I've talked about how the Most High said we have to have order. We have to have some type of, not the world's governments, because when I speak on this, people take it out of context. We have to govern ourselves accordingly. There has to be structures. There has to be some type of laws, order, all of that we all abide by and we all follow by when we're in these communities. So from what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing and what I understand in terms of that, there's nothing out of context. Now, again, as Brother Israel said, if this guy, he not worth a pot to piss in, so to speak, I'm just making a long story short, and this woman decides to, hey, I still want to marry him or whatever it is, and they do what they do, hey, that's a situation and a decision that they made. But that's not in reflection of the leadership, because as you heard, they speak on these things, say, I don't think y'all should get married. But again, no one is dictating and lording over anyone in terms of them making those decisions. They have their free will. So that's actually on them. And this is what Brother Israel is saying. We need to find out. We need to talk to these people or talk to people on the inside. That's why I'm having this dialogue going on, because there's a lot of misunderstandings. Even I had myself. I have no problem admitting that. I want y'all to see that and hear that. I'm admitting I had misunderstandings. So instead of me being a hypocrite and being in sin and all of this, let me just be like, that's why I cut my whole show that I was planning on doing earlier short. I said, just forget this. Brother Israel's here. Let's just go ahead and get this thing going. And, here we are. So I want y'all to start thinking about that. When these questions, and Brother Israel brought this up so many times, he said, if this is burning within you and you feel like you need to follow through, like the Most High is laying it on you, the doors are open. The phone calls, the emails. I mean, hey, I'm doing what I can to even connect you all. And we'll continue to do so that you can get those answers and not assume and not go off of other people, other content creators, whatever platforms that are saying things without connecting to the source. So like I said, this is just how it is. And this is how we have to operate. We have to do better.
And again, Brainwavezz, it's awesome. I just want to say again, like it's awesome to hear what you did, that you reached out to New Breed and you took that step. I mean, that's what it takes. That's what it looks like. I also want to tell you, Brainwavezz, make sure you get my email. It's on most of my shows. I do get my email. Send me an email so I have your
our contact. Absolutely.
I'm about to get off. I got some stuff I got to take care of, and just send me an email, and I'll give you my number, and we'll chat. We'll talk a little bit.
Absolutely. I want you to see this, ladies and gentlemen, as we close, as Brother Israel has to go. This is what it's about. We've got to sit down one-on-one with each other And we've got to just talk it up and chalk it up and do what we need to build. We hear building. We see Straitway putting an example of talking about building. And what I'm seeing, at least with me personally, y'all can take it however you want. Brother Israel has been straight up with me. He's been fair. He's been just. You heard him say, hey, send him an email so we can, be in contact. And this is what we have to work on. So let this be an example. Y'all can talk and say what y'all want, but don't be surprised when I turn it into some type of edifying content. I'll put it like that. Right. Hey, I'm doing something that a lot of people are not willing to do. And very quickly before Brother Israel goes, I'm also proud of New Breed. It's encouraging because after speaking to him and knowing, now I don't know if there's anything recent that has changed, but just at least prior to say this particular show, he heard my words. There's certain things he said that he's going to incorporate and do. He apologized even publicly. He said stuff, and that's a great start. That's what we asked for. Now, I just hope the same with Ringo, but again, he, wrote me off just like he wrote Straitway off, and he has his vision or goals or agenda, whatever you want to call it, with how he's going to go about it. And I know his followers think that it's some type of beef. It's not any type of beef. That's why I didn't put out those videos. But I had to set the record straight. Like, look, dude came for me, and I didn't do anything to him. And I got receipts on that, like tons of receipts I can back up. So we're building here. Just remember that. I'm very encouraged about having this connection with Straitway. I'm pretty sure that you're not the only one that I'm going to end up speaking with, Brother Israel. And I hope that in this communication that it can show people that we need to allow them to speak on the matters and talk about it. And we need to hear their parts and actually think and not be biased. We got to get the bias out. The Most High is not biased. That is how the devil rolls. That's how Satan rolls. He's biased. The Most High is not. So we have to be fair and just and move accordingly. I thank you again, Brother Israel. You've been on here for, what were we, 5 hours and 15 minutes in. That says a lot. I don't care what no one says. That says a lot about you.
Yeah, Israel, that's a lot, boy. Man. I done whittled my videos down to like 45 minutes now. I can't do them long sessions like Ringo be doing. Hey. But hey, I saw a brother somebody asked that you're asking a doctrinal question. And like I said, man, stuff like that, you could go on forever. But at the end of the day, I stay locked in and focus on, like he's asking, is Jesus God? Is God Jesus? And this, that, and other. At the end of the day, are you keeping the commandments? Like I'm big on that, because early on in my, when I got into this Hebrew Israelite thing, before I came to Straitway back in the day, I used to study under some high level people with biblical understanding. And you never hear me really put it out, but I have a pretty deep understanding of the word. And there's a lot of stuff I just simply don't even put out there because people ain't ready to get that level of understanding. But at the end of the day, we don't need this deep level understanding of the word. It's surface level. It's like what you see me and Brainwavezz doing. We being obedient to the word. We trying to reach out and do what we need to do. So Brainwavezz, appreciate you having me on here. Definitely leave me send me the email, and we'll link up and talk some more, and we'll do some more shows like this and stuff like that. But yeah, appreciate you having me on here, and I appreciate the questions coming from y'all in the comments. And with that said, I'm Michael Israel. Shalom, shalom. I'm gonna check on out, and I'll be listening on YouTube. So
absolutely, it probably won't be too much longer, because looking at the time, I've got some things that I pushed off that I have to tend to as well. So we'll have to pick this up perhaps on another show. Man, this is a beautiful thing, everyone. I hope y'all see what's going on. This is proof that the Most High Yah is in control, and that he's setting proper order and he's making things right with his people. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Shalom, brother.
Shalom. Wow. This has been a show that I have not expected. This has been an experience that I have not expected. I'm sure many of you have not expected, but this is exactly what's needed. Okay. We have issues with people. And this is why I always talk about community. We have to be about the example. We need to reach out. Okay, we're always pointing the fingers. You this, you that, you messed up, da 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 da. Okay, doing that never wins someone over to the Most High. It never allows them to hear. We have to be fair and just, or at the very least, we have to establish some type of relationship, some type of brotherhood, some type of sisterhood. And then if we speak on matters, if any of us get out of line, it's more likely to be received because we've proven ourselves accordingly with how we move and the justification of what the scriptures say on how we're supposed to act and respond. These are the things that I have visions of. These are the things that I would like to see in the community with all of us. I don't take any enjoyment in beef. I don't take any enjoyment with disagreements. We've heard a lot of conversations where we assume that the other person, whether they're in sin or not, how they feel some type of way, you never know what they're going through. And sometimes it's that precise thing that causes a person to stumble even more. They're already dealing with the hurt feelings, the confusion, anger, a whole host of things. And then we don't try to reach out to the person. We don't try to hear their side in the matter. We just automatically write them off and go. And that causes a lot of people to miss the mark and stumble. Now, I'm not saying that that's a justification by any means. That's not what I'm saying. We have to be held accountable for our own actions. What I am saying is that this is one of the things that causes us to stumble. This is one of the ways and one of the tools that the devil uses against us, that the enemy uses against us all, to break down our relations, break down our connections, break down our families, break down our communities. And so I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be a part of breaking things down. Now, I know I've got previous videos out there where I've said and I've done some things, and I don't want to take those videos down. And let me explain why. Because I want people to see the things that I've said and that I've done, whether they're right or whether they're not right. You take it as you will. But I want people to see that, and in the same breath and in the same sentence, I want people to see the progression. Why am I doing that? Because I'm trying to lead by example. And I want people to see that, well, hey, he was like this, and this is where we are, and this is what's going on. So if he's able to make this change and make this example, maybe I could do the same thing with my family members or my friends or my neighbors or whoever is in your community. We've got to right our wrongs. And the only way we're going to do this is we've got to come together. Again, the number one attack, and it goes back to the Garden of Eden. Satan knew about the power of family and the power of community. So he literally separated Adam and Eve and got into the midst of that and tried to separate that and tried to make them fight and make them backbite. Now, I'm not in control of any of you all or any other person, what they are and what they aren't going to do. But at the least, I can lead by example and show a layer of encouragement. Now, many of you know I've said a lot about Straitway. The videos are there. I said I'm leaving them there because I want people to see a progression, at least for now. Maybe I'll take those things down at a later date, but just as it stands right now, I want people to see growth. I want people, someone just said it in the chat. Jonathan says, I'm showing growth. I want people to see that I'm not staying stuck. I'm not staying stagnant. And how can I expect all of you that are watching and listening to me, whatever part of community or wherever you're involved, to follow the words and listen to the Most High and do all these things, if I myself am being a hypocrite and not willing to grow and not willing to change? People have always called me a mediator. So why not use what the Most High created me to be in situations, to be that mediator? And it is my hope, it is my desire, it is my prayer that with time, in due time, that I can be used as a tool, as a vessel of the Most High, to create at the very least, peace in our communities, where we're not raging out on each other. We're not in conflict. We're not, as I said, throwing people under the bus, and that we're getting the narratives right, and that we're at the very least willing to listen to our brothers and sisters and hear the matter out, hear what they got to say, understand how they feel and why they feel what they feel, and just get all of this, allow things to be said, and then us get to a place of actually doing this word, doing this Bible stuff. So this is what I'm talking about here. I mean, this is a lot to soak in for many of us, but I want you all to see that this is a start. And again, if you want to have an ability to bring about positive change, then you have to be about it, and you have to establish some type of fair, just, basic ground with the person, with the people that you expect change. And some of you may have that with people, and then they may not have ears to hear. So what you do is, in those moments, you take a step back, you fall back, and you say a prayer for those people or for that person. And you put it in the Most High's hands, and you let the Most High work. And it could just be a matter of timing and all types of things. So, you know, I'm highly aware that because of this particular live stream and this show, it's going to be a lot of conversations being had. There's probably going to be a lot of content, a lot of questions, a lot of things that may come on Straitway's end as well as my end. It's going to be a lot that's going on, right? My job is just, I hate to see the division. And that's something that Brother Israel said in his last video to me. You know, hey, if this is on your heart, this is how you feel the Most High is putting you there, hey, be that mediator, try to be that solution. And that is at the very least what I'm trying to do. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I'm perfect and I'm flawless when it comes to even doing that. But I'm doing something that a lot of people refuse to do. A lot of people refuse to talk to those that there is quote unquote friction, quote unquote tension, quote unquote conflict. That's not me. I'm willing to sit down and talk to anybody. The question is anybody willing to sit down and talk to me? And so that says a lot also about Brother Israel. I know we had a lot. I got nothing but love for my people, for the men and women of Yah. Like I said, we ain't perfect. We do stuff. The Most High is what we strive to be like. Okay, but in the process, I'm just doing my part. And I don't really see anyone reaching out trying to be mediators. That could be for many reasons. I'm not throwing any criticism, and I'm not throwing any shade. I just don't want to be a hypocrite. And I don't want to be put in those boats. So I'm doing my part, and I will continue to do my part. Right? Man, this is a lot to think about, a lot to unpack. And I'm sure there's going to probably be a lot of videos and a lot of content, or content rather. I would not be surprised if things get twisted and get said. I would not be surprised, oh, look, he in bed with Straitway now and all this. Like, man, y'all, it's got nothing to do with that. And this is the same thing I've been accused of because of my associations with New Breed. because I decided to actually talk to the man myself and link up with the man myself and be a man about my business and move accordingly. And people see associations, and I wanted to see what the land is about and get my understanding without assuming things, because it's so easy to assume, well, I seen this video, I heard this, I heard that. I actually want to see for myself if it's something that I'm able to see and to be a part. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and just point fingers, right? I need to be a part of things so that I can see and I can learn and I know for myself. But I got labeled things. I've got ostracized. I've got people that turned against me. And you know, it is what it is. I'm blessed though, because I'm being persecuted for the Most High's sake. Now, I know some people are not going to agree with that. They're not going to see it. It is what it is. But I like to ask the question, what are you doing for the community? What are you doing to heal rifts in the community? What are you doing to provide clarity and right wrongs and allow brothers and sisters a space and a chance to actually be encouraged to heal? Like I was saying earlier, many people won't sit down and allow a person to even say their part and their side. And so again, this creates more hurt and more pain on their end. And then we're sitting back waiting for people to repent and waiting for people to get things right and to do better and et cetera, et cetera. But yet we're actually encouraging them to stay in a place. And this is a tool and a trick that the enemy uses against us. So I don't want to be playing into any of that. I'm doing my part. I'm doing my job. People can criticize. People can say what they want. You know, the Most High forgives us for the things that we do. Okay. The Most High forgives us for the things that we do. So why not allow that same forgiveness, that same grace and mercy? Because again, we say that we follow the Most High. And we claim we're following the Bible. This is what we say. This is what comes out of our mouths. So we have to be doers of the word. We can't just be hearers. We have to be doers of the word. Faith without works is dead. So if we say we have faith in the Most High and his holy word, then we have to put works behind it. And so this is what I'm trying to do. This is the scripture. This is the Bible that I'm trying to do. And I'm very encouraged about everything as a whole that took place. A lot of you all have questions that were answered. You've gotten a lot of clarity. We even had dialogue between Pastor Rufus and Brother Israel. You know, the brothers said they got love for each other. That's very encouraging, despite of what was said. And you all have to understand there's a lot of passion that's been taking place here with these situations. And the same thing goes in the community. It is just, again, my vision, my desire, my hope that the Most High can continue to use me to allow everyone fairly to speak on matters, to be able to perhaps come to some type of reconciliations and understandings. And, you know, I'm just going to say this. It's one of two things. Either time is going to allow those reconciliations and healings and understandings to take place, if that's the Most High's will for the situation, or I'm going to say this, perhaps certain individuals or what have you may not be truly following and walking and practicing what they may preach if they preach the Most High's word. And it could just simply be that they're not actually following it. So I want to keep people encouraged despite any criticism and anything. And I'm going to do this with anyone in the community, right? This is not even just about Straitway. This is about everyone. We've got to sit down and find some way to restore our community, because you all see what's taking place in the world right now. According to the world standards, according to the devil's standards, they don't want none of us talking. They don't want none of us seeing eye to eye. They want us all to be fighting and bickering about every single little thing. And that's not of the Most High. That's not biblical. That's worldly. That's pagan. That's satanic. Absolutely. But none of that is biblical. So we've got to move accordingly, especially for those in this space. If we don't do it, and we're known to be in this space, then you know hope and encouragement And examples are going to be lost for those that aren't in this space, or those that may be wrestling. Hey, maybe I want to get involved in this space, but I see all the tearing down and all the confusion. I see no growth. I see no one admitting to their wrongs, no clarification, none of that. How is that going to encourage someone else to come into this righteous space, this space of biblical truth, and be a part of that? If that were me, I'd be like, man, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. So we've got to move accordingly and set examples, and that's all I'm trying to do. So, you know, I know people are going to say what they're going to say. They're not going to agree. You know, they can criticize how I went about it, et cetera, et cetera. I did my part, and I did the best that I could. So what I want us to keep in mind is we're going to be going into the Sabbath not too much longer from now. Y'all know sundown to sundown. I'm just keeping it simple. Let's think about everything that has been said, and let's just move accordingly. Now, it is what it is. If those of you that don't want to move accordingly, maybe we got to give those people grace too. Maybe they're just not there yet. Maybe they just got to go through their motions, go through emotions, go through whatever it is that they got to go through, and then maybe they'll get to that place. But we hold a space and we hold grace as the Most High did for us, and as He is doing for us, for any of those people that fit that scenario. With that being said, I thank all of you for all of your time, all of your talking, all of your questions. We're 5.5 hours into this thing, and this is not what I intended to do. But hey, the Most High said, hey, get on this thing and keep this thing going. So with that being said, there will be more videos. There will be more content. There will be more follow-up. I'm really about this community thing. I don't care what people say. I don't care what group, what direction, what camp, what association, what person they want to try to throw me in. I'm trying to do the community thing. You need to ask yourself a question. For those groups, those individuals, those people, etc., that fit this group, they want to throw me, quote unquote, under the bus for attempting to do this community thing. Ask yourselves this question. What are they doing in terms of community? And I'm going to leave it at that. Let it be food for thought. I thank all of you. God bless y'all. I'll be back with some more content. I've got some things I got to do. I got to make some moves with my family, et cetera, et cetera. Y'all know what it is. So with that being said, again, thank you, Brother Israel, for coming on. Thank you, Pastor Dowell, for allowing Brother Israel to come on. Or, you know, whoever all was involved in whatever conversations. I know Brother Israel said he spoke to Pastor Dowell. I believe that's my understanding. Just about some of the points that I brought up. Definitely about the points with when it comes to the whole Ringo New Breed Ringo situation. And you know, I hope all of that gets worked out. I hate that so many people in the community see both of these brothers and they're taking sides, and it just, man, it's, I just, if I could make a wish, I just wish it never came to that. I just wish it never came to that. But hey, we here. It is what it is. I'm just trying to do the best that I can to take situations that we have in front of us and go from there. People can think what they want. Y'all can think I got problems and I'm mad and upset with any one person, any group of people, whatever. That's on y'all. That's your issue. But just like the scripture says, did you come to me and actually ask me if I'm upset or if I got problems with anyone? And if you did not do that, then you're bearing false witness. And that's on you, and that's on your soul. Because if you ask me, like I said, I got no problems with nobody. We need to come together. There's a lot going on in these last days, and we got other things we need to be focusing on instead of all of this division and all this separation and all this conflict and all this stuff. So, hey, it is what it is. I said enough. I'm going to get out of here. Love y'all. God bless every last one of y'all here. Again, I know this was a tough live stream. A lot was said and a lot was done that is tough, but let that toughness grow us. It's supposed to be tough. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. That's how the word of God works. It's a double-edged sword. It cuts me just as much as it cuts you all. But hopefully it's providing edification and it's providing some form of growth in the Most High and in his word. And I just want to be as humble as I possibly can be about all of this. So we're going to talk about more. We're going to go from there. I really pray that things work out in your lives, brothers and sisters. I know we all are dealing with stuff. We got a lot going on. I just really hope and pray that the Most High shows up and shows out in your life. Whatever it is that you're doing, you ain't got to tell me. I mean, if you want to tell me, you can. That's where my life coaching comes in. I speak to people, video chat, phone recordings, in person, all that stuff. Whatever's going on in your lives, I just pray that the Most High work it out. And I pray that you be delivered from any type of conflict, any issues that are in your heart, your mind, your soul. I just pray that the Most High delivers you from that, whatever it is. And if it's not you dealing with it, maybe you feel these things for your family members or your friends or someone you care about. Maybe you feel this way about some of us in the community out here in social media land. I just pray that the Most High have his way and deliver us all from all of this. So with that being said, all praises to the Most High, y'all. I thank y'all. And I'll be back on the next one, whenever that is. I need to go also update this title. I need to change the title of this live stream. I need to send a message, send an email to Brother Michael Israel, as I said. Give him my contact information. We just gonna go from there. That's all we can do, right? That's what we're supposed to be about. So with that being said, love y'all. God bless y'all. I'm gonna get at y'all on the next one. Enjoy your Sabbath. And I appreciate every last one of y'all. There's a lot of comments and a lot of things said. And when I say I truly walk in love, I mean that. And sometimes that love is tough love now. Y'all got to keep that in mind. Sometimes it's tough love. Sometimes the Most High deal with us and it's tough. So there may be some things and some ways that I'm saying and moving that y'all be like, ooh, that's tough. You didn't have to say it like that, Brainwavezz. You didn't have to do it like that. Sometimes you absolutely have to. Again, I'm not doing anything differently than how the Most High moves with us. So with that being said, again, I just pray that you all be delivered from any type of conflict or any situations and struggles that y'all are going through. If y'all need prayer, hit your boy up. You know what I'm saying? Just shoot me a message. Just say it in the chat, the live chat. There's many people that I prayed for, publicly and behind the scenes. And I get a lot of testimonials from it. They get delivered from it because the scripture says prayers of the righteous availeth much. So, hey, this is what I'm saying. It's the only way we're going to get free of all the curses and all the stuff that's going on and all the separation and the division. This is not what the Most High would want for us. So on that note, y'all, just think about everything that's said. Please take some time to consider it. And on that note, love y'all. God bless y'all. I'll get at y'all on the next.